What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So, Ego Rumor Mill back with the latest, and it looks like they may be trying to put together a heavyweight bout with Bermane Stiverne and also Anthony Joshua. I want to give my 2 cents on it and just talk about it. I'm okay with it. I think it's a solid matchup. It's an interesting style, and I'm gonna break it down. Anthony Joshua, he's quickly emerging, especially on the UK scene, but even in the States. His Showtime deal is getting him that exposure across the pond, and I like the fight. I think it's a good fight. I think they're doing a good job with Matchroom Boxing. Shout out to them, and they're doing a good job of managing his career. And shout out to Sky Sports. That's the one who conducted the interview, so make sure you check it out. And the reason I like it is because they're doing what they're supposed to. We're talking about a kid who's young, who has a high ceiling if he goes about his career in the right way, stays disciplined, things like that, right? And he won Olympic gold. He's been knocking everybody out. He's 17-0 with all knockouts, I believe. And his last 4 opponents have been undefeated fighters. So to put him in there with the Bermane Stiverne, not necessarily an easy fight. Bermane Stiverne is very fast-handed as a heavyweight. He has some slickness. He showed a hell of a beard, crazy chin versus Deontay Wilder. So it's also a barometer style fight. And Joseph Parker would be a fight that I guess they're trying to build up for in 2017, which is the mandatory for Anthony Joshua. So I think they're bringing him along in the right way. Some people, this is 2 things that I hate about this modern landscape of boxing. Just people always saying everything's a cherry pick if it's not a mega fight. But the thing is, people want to play matchmakers, fans, but they don't know boxing. They don't follow boxing intently to know what's feasible and what's not feasible. Like, of course, yeah, I want to see Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, right? That's a good fight. Or a Klitschko, or Luis King Kong Ortiz, or Deontay Wilder. But when you start breaking it down, a lot of those guys have fights. Wilder's fighting Areola this weekend. Fury versus Klitschko rematch doesn't have an official date, but it got postponed because Tyson Fury injured his ankle or his foot. You look at Luis King Kong Ortiz, who's supposed to fight in September on the Canelo versus Liam Smith HBO pay-per-view. So those are all top fights that we all want to see, but it's not really realistic right now. You know what I mean? Because all those guys are tied up or have fights or will be shortly coming up fights. And the thing I like what they're doing with Joshua is he's fighting actively. That's something a lot of champs don't do. You know what I mean? There's certain champions and we haven't really seen them. Like they become champions and it's like they start fighting infrequently. You know what I mean? Like there's a couple people like Danny Garcia, good fighter. He fought Guerrero in January. He didn't really take any punishment, and we haven't seen him back since. So, you know what I mean? We don't know. We don't know what's happening with him. Maybe he'll get the Floyd fight. Maybe he'll fight Keith Thurman. We don't know, but it's been a minute. But the thing with Anthony Joshua, he was a challenger, beat Charles Martin, became the champion, right? And he already had a title defense against an undefeated Olympian in Dominique Brazil, where he looked, you know what I mean? He did his thing, and he beat up on Dominique Brazil, had his face looking all warped, and now he's trying to get back in there with a game guy like Bermane Stiverne. As far as the fight breakdown, I'm not going to do official prediction unless the fight is actually announced, but it's a good fight. At times, Anthony Joshua can appear to be mechanical and robotic, which could pose problems because, like I said earlier, Bermane Stiverne has a level of slickness with his delivery. However, the downside is I really think the Deontay Wilder beating in the Bermane Stiverne fight, because he showed a crazy chin in that fight, and sometimes it's almost worse when the fighter doesn't go down or get knocked out because they endure that beating for 12 rounds, and that's what happened. I think Deontay Wilder looked good. I think he was robbed of a knockdown. I think that, I don't know if it was round 1, but Wilder caught Stiverne, and Stiverne literally tackled Wilder, right? He was clearly hurt. Even when he got up, his legs buckled and stuff like that. So I thought that should have been ruled a knockdown. I mean, you can't just tackle someone trying to recover. But since he went the distance and he was eating some heavy shots, plus I think he was dehydrated, I think it affected him. So the downside for that fight is he came back and he fought a lesser known heavyweight after that, and he won, but he still got knocked down. So I don't know I don't know where he's at. Maybe he's giving himself time to recover. Maybe he can get up for this particular fight knowing that he needs a great performance. I don't know. But Bermane Stiverne of old is a good fighter. He lost to Deontay Wilder, but he went the distance. And then the other fight he lost was, I thought it was a premature stoppage. If you guys know boxing, go back and watch it. I forgot the guy's name, Demetrius King or whoever. And it was a bullshit stoppage. Like, he was maybe rocked, but you seen his chin in the Wilder fight later, and it shouldn't have been stopped at that. The ref jumped in way too prematurely. So I'm okay with Anthony Joshua fighting this fight. I don't think it's a give me fight, because we have to keep in mind, even though he's a gold medalist, he's still learning on the job. And I actually like getting to see fighters fight different types of styles. Like, you look at Joshua's last 4 opponents, like I said, were undefeated. He just fought a guy who's finally taller than him. So I like seeing those different metrics. Now, if he fights Bermane Stiverne, he'll be fighting someone who's definitely more fluid and looser and slicker than him in terms of their upper body movement and things like that, with the good chin. So I like seeing champions fight the different variety of styles. Like, don't just fight people that'll sit in the pocket with you, or just guys that are smaller than you, or just brawlers. You know what I mean? You got to fight everybody. This is like Street Fighter, the different characters. Zangief, if he gets you, he's slow as fuck, but if he gets you in arm's reach, he's gonna bear hug the shit out of you and pile drive you. And you got Chung Lee, who's fast as hell and stomping on your head with high heels, and that's what makes the game exciting. Blanca is like zapping you and stuff. That's what makes those fighting games fun, is the different styles. If everybody fought slow and plodding like Zangief and was just this big barbaric wrestler, then the game would be boring, because everyone's special moves would be the same. So I'm okay with the fight. Drop it in the comment section. Let me know what you think of the fight. If it does come off, Anthony Joshua versus Bermane Stiverne, who would win? Does Bermane Stiverne have a chance? Make sure you let me know that in the comment section. Like the video, share the video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.